The Upper Sioux Community is on the Minnesota near Granite Falls. Megan Ulrich is the community's water quality specialist. Today, she's headed to Hazel Creek, which meanders through the reservation on its way to the Minnesota River.
I sampled this body of water monthly during the field season for little critters that live in the water called macroinvertebrates. These particular critters can only survive in really healthy water. And then group 3, these are pollution-tolerant organisms, so they can live in any range of the water. Some of these critters live on the bottoms of rocks, some live in undercut banks, some live on the vegetation that's emerging out of the water. They can't run away from pollution, you know, so they're a very good indicator of water quality. You can see how fast the water is running, so it's carrying a lot of the silt with it, and it's just fine and mucky. It's so fine that it clogs up my 500 micron net, and you can imagine if you have gills, what that does to you.
Megan tests the water for pesticides in Hazel Creek only twice a year. The tests are very expensive.
We have had pesticide hits in 2007, and we have not had a pesticide hit since then. Doesn't mean it's not there, it's just that we don't catch it. It's easy to think of pollution as being like, oh, a chemical in the water like mercury or bacteria, but you know, when we're getting really big rain events and the water's really flashy and we have a large volume of water flowing through the river at once, that's a form of pollution. When you have a lot of siltation or a lot of turbidity, a lot of suspended sediment, that's another form of pollution. When you have so many different impacts, I think there's kind of like a perfect storm for all the life that's in the water.
Growing up along the Minnesota River, the water was clear and, you know, you could see the bottom of the river.
Carrie Schommer is an elder in the Upper Sioux Community. She was born in a village along the river and has been an eyewitness to the river's changes.
Where I lived along the river bottoms down there, we used to go swimming in it. The turtles, you know, they would, you know, sometimes they would just come up and they'd be looking at you, you know, and then they'd go down and all those things living in the water like that. My dad used to put out set lines and they would catch nice fish. It was good, clean. We used to eat everything out of that river. It can be used in that.
Carrie grew up speaking the Dakota language.
Sota means, you know, this clear. Minnesota. The translation for that is the reflection of the sky in the water. They translate it as the sky blue waters. And you know that the river is not sky blue anymore. It used to be.
This is just nuts to see the devastation on this bank and here, and just how many, you can see how many trees have come down because the bank's gone. You just think about all the sediment coming out of this little creek. And you can see how turbid it is now, you can't see.
The Water Resources Center at Minnesota State University, Mankato, also keeps track of what's happening at Hazel Creek and other tributaries of the Minnesota River.
We're involved with river and lake studies, monitoring water quality, looking at chemistry and biota. Water Resource Center, the Scott.
The center collects data and publishes a report on the trends in water quality.
We do the State of the Minnesota River report, which comes out every 2 years. There are some trends that are improving, like phosphorus. We also know that some trends are static, like mussels.
Mussels at one stage in their life have to live in the gills of fish and amphibians because of the way they live and that they are filter feeders and travel on the bottom of the body of water. They're very sensitive to pollution and siltation. Oh, and I brought some of my mussel shells collected previously. We happen to know that many mussels are locally extinct in the Minnesota River.
At one time, historically, there was 42 mussels found in the Minnesota River Basin. Now we only find 23. But we also know that that 23 has been fairly stable for the last 10, 15 years. And some trends like nitrates, we know that they're rising. So it's kind of a mixed bag. We see positive trends, we see trends that are basically stable, and we see some trends that are continuing to go down.